Today we're talking to JD Campbell. How have you dealt with all of the media attention that IU has gotten this past year?
Well, it's really been ongoing. When you come to Indiana, you know that there's going to be a lot of attention, especially with men's basketball. But this year, we really started off as the number one team in the country. There were a lot of different demands in the preseason, like shooting covers for Sports Illustrated, ESPN, the magazine, the Sporting News, a lot of different feature articles on the program. And generally, by and large, you just try to prepare ahead and try to come up with opportunities that might be able to not take away from their academics or from their training, and have opportunities for the media that they can come in and meet our guys, meet our coaches, and hopefully that will be a positive experience and then reflect positively not only the program but the university as well.
Are there any particular statistics or milestones that this team has achieved this year that has stood out to you?
Well, the one that's really stood out for me is I wasn't aware that Indiana University had never beaten a team on the road ranked lower than 8th. And when we beat number 4 Michigan State on the road, that was our best ever road win in the history of the program. And that really just took me away because again, it probably for a lot of different reasons, because rankings have been going on since the 40s, but at the same time, you don't know if the Big Ten has ever had the type of power that they have right now. And it got to a point where we were playing top 10 games virtually every other game for a 2 to 3 week period. And it just so happened that we were ranked 1 and Michigan State was ranked 4 when we played them. And that was a great game, a memorable game, a game that featured a great comeback and really kind of solidified the emergence of someone like Victor Oladipo as a National Player of the Year candidate.
Well, you said Victor's up for National Player of the Year, and so is Cody. What are some of the reasons that you think both are deserving of this award?
Well, number one, I think they're both extremely unselfish. Number two is I think they're team players, they're winners. They came from high school programs and summer programs where they won a great deal. And when you have a lot of those individuals in your program, you understand that your individual success is never going to be there every single night. However, if it's about the team, and you've seen the things in the gym, the team, those two personify that, and they've not allowed the attention, they've not allowed their success to really overshadow what the goals of the team are, which is to win one game, one day at a time, get better one day, one practice at a time. And that's why those two are so dynamic, and that's why they're two among the top 12 players in all of college basketball this year.
Well, what's the favorite part of your job?
You know, I really think the favorite part of my job is when I can meet someone that has a strong love and desire for Indiana University basketball, and maybe I meet them in Cook Hall and I'm able to give them a tour on a slow day. Because you really see the genuine gratefulness that people have when they're around Indiana basketball. We're around it every day, and it's very easy to take it for granted. But when you get people maybe that come up from a different part of the state and you happen to have the key and they want to walk in and see something for the first time, I tell you, you get a great deal of satisfaction in that.
What's the hardest part of your profession?
I think right now the hardest part that we have in our profession is dealing with social media and the immediacy of all the media, because you can make a mistake on a keyboard and it goes out in cyberspace and all of a sudden a million people can see it, and sometimes you can't get it back. And even if you do want to get it back, there's enough outlets in cyberspace on the web with blogs and such that they're going to write about it, and it can get some negative attention and kind of, you know, be a situation where you're trying, boy, I wish we didn't do that, or wish that hadn't happened. And also, you know, everybody is emotional, and everybody, you know, lives and dies with their team. And a lot of times I think people need to just really sit back and talk into maybe a can or something instead of writing it down and sending it out there on a tweet, because again, the lack of civility that you see with people who can do things on a nameless basis really, probably more than anything else, makes this job very difficult and makes this job a situation where you get frustrated because you're all really just trying to do good and you're trying to make everyone happy, but you know you can't. and it certainly just rubs a little salt in the wound every now and then.
Well, thank you for joining us.
No problem.